Hey, what's up guys? It's Mr. Lee Gamer, and today's video is going to be the 5 things I dislike about The Division. So, if you guys haven't seen the 5 things I do like about The Division, there'll be a link in the description below guiding you to that video. So let's get right into the video. So this video is just basically telling you the 5 things I dislike. Of course, you know, the 5 things you may like or things that you may dislike about The Division may not be in this video because this is just solely my preference. But let's get right into it. So the first thing on my list is the cover system. So for those of you who watched my other video, the 5 good things about The Division, you're probably wondering why this is on my list, if I said this was so good. Well, it is good, but the reason why it's on my list for the bad is because the glitches and the bugs that come in the cover system. So let me talk about the glitches and the bugs real quick. So sometimes you will get stuck on a certain cover or a certain cover that you're not supposed to. Like let's say you're walking around a corner, you'll get stuck by accident. Now I'm not saying you get stuck all the time, but sometimes you'll get stuck on just random corners that you're not supposed to get stuck on. And I know I've had this happen to me before and died because of it. Or if you're let's say you're in cover and you're trying to get out. Sometimes the cover system almost basically glues you to whatever you're covered in and doesn't allow you to move from that. And also, once again, speaking from experience, I know that shotgunner came up behind me when I was trying to roll out, but sadly the wall did not want to let me go, and I died because of this. So that's one of the reasons why the cover system is on here, just because of the bugs and glitches. Of course, these can be easily fixed, but for right now, since the bugs and glitches are in the game, this is on my list as the cover system. So moving on to number 2 is the level scaling. Why is the level scaling on my list for things I dislike about The Division? Well, let's get right into it. So, first of all, the level scaling is pretty good. Now, why am I complaining about it, you might say? Well, the reason why I'm complaining about it is for people that are not equally leveled. So, like, let's say if I want to play with a buddy of mine that's level 13, and let's say I'm level 30, it's gonna ruin his experience because they won't level scale to him. Even if I join his game, they will level scale up to me at 30 and ruin his experience. But of course, you know, some of you guys are gonna be like, well, you can power level him. Well, let's say he doesn't want to be power leveled. He wants to enjoy the game, you know, how it's supposed to be played. And if I join his game, he can't play the game how it's supposed to be played because I have to power level him and I'm hurting his experience. And we can't have fun at the same level together and enjoy the challenge together. It's basically, it's either I enjoy it and he doesn't, or he enjoys it but it's by himself. So, or he finds somebody else to play with, and that, you know, that kind of sucks how the level scaling goes. But of course, you know, this game, I do understand that the game's supposed to be really played at the max level and not, you know, the process during leveling. But you know, of course, if you want to play with your friends that don't play as that often, it does kind of hurt a little bit the way they level scale. And of course, you know, I have talked about the level scaling issue and what they can do to fix it. If you guys want to go check that out, you guys are more welcome to. But that's just one thing to me that I dislike about it, is just unfair level scaling if you're higher than somebody or lower than somebody. Alright, number 3 on the list is the end game. Well, of course, you know, we don't have the end game yet. The incursions will be released in April, and so right now we're just prepping for end game. So I guess I can't really talk about this too much, but so far the prep to end game has been pretty boring. So far there has been no new innovative, you know, encounters. There's been no new you know, enemies that come up and, you know, challenge you a little bit. The only thing that happens is that they just have more health and more damage. It's not like they have any new abilities. They don't have any more patterns. It's just more damage, more damage, more health, and that's almost how Borderlands is played. Of course, if you like that kind of stuff, then that's fine, but this is something that I wish that wasn't the case, because I like when my enemies have more abilities and more engagement options to choose from, instead of just being higher in health and higher in damage, which, you know, kind of gets a little boring for me, but for you guys it might be different. But of course, you know, just prepping for the end game is just a little boring, just because all it seems like is that they're just higher damage, higher health, and that's it. It seems a little lazy on my part, or it seems a little lazy for me that they put that in there. And alright, number 4 on the list is the traveling. I'm pretty sure you guys play this game enough, where if you're going from missions to encounters to side missions, there's a lot of traveling. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind enjoying the scenery once in a while, but if you go back to do missions or to get better gear or doing the same thing over and over again, the traveling gets a little boring. Of course they do have fast traveling, which does help out a little bit, but since the game is so massive in size, or the map scaling is so massive in size, it just takes a while to get from place to place. And of course, I don't know why they haven't added this in yet. Maybe they might do it later. But if you notice in the map, there's bikes, there's there's car. I mean, I don't really see why the cars would be useful, but I definitely see that there's bikes in the game. Why can't you just be able to, you know, use something to allow you to travel faster in the game? But of course, you know, I'm not a developer. There might be some reasons why, but you know, just the traveling in general is a little annoying for me because it does take a little bit. But of course, they have made it a little bit more enjoyable to travel because of the dynamic weather they have. You know, where it's heavy rain, foggy, whatever. So I guess that does, you know, kind of break it down for me. But that's just one annoying part for me. You guys, like I said, you guys may feel different about this. Last but not least, number 5 on the list is directions. Now, what am I saying by directions? Well, let's say if you're doing a side mission, and let's say if you're doing the virus ones, or you have to find these supply stations and defend them. They might put them like far away from each other, and it's gonna be hard to find them because they might, you know, say you have to go to the rooftop, but you don't see any like real way up to your rooftop. So you basically have to find out and problem solve your way up there. So for people that haven't really played the game and they're new to it and they've never seen that kind of stuff before, it would be very difficult for them. And of course, I know I struggled with this before, where I've failed a mission because I couldn't find how to get up there. Like there's been some times where I have to like go like 2 blocks over and then jump up on another building that's not even supposed to be where we're at to get up to a certain place. And I think that's just confusing on how they make you go up and do certain things. But to me, I feel like if they gave better directions on how to get to certain places, especially when you're doing a side mission, it would be a little bit better. But like I said before, these are just my opinion and preferences, what I dislike about it. But of course, I would like for you guys to tell me what you guys dislike in the Division in the comments below, because I'm pretty sure that you guys may have different things that you dislike and I haven't said before. So, but yes, please let me know what you dislike about the Division in the comments below. Let's keep it respectful. I want to just, you know, see what other people dislike and see if it compares to me or if it's a complete opposite of what I dislike. And also make sure you go check out the 5 things I do like about the Division. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I hope to catch you guys in future videos.